What's this place? What's he done now? He only called you in here for his own sake. This is inside the shell of your basic character, the room of the coward. I'm sure you've been here many times before. Hey, fuck you, Id. I see now. I remember. In my dreams. Everything despised and unwanted he pushed onto me, while he shut himself up in his own little shell. The coward, Faye. The basis for our personalities. Who are you? Ah, you're my... Hey, let's watch this together. This is my most treasured possession. By repeatedly playing the happy times, the times he was full of happiness, he lives in his own happy little world. Well, I'm still alive only because of what's in those leftover dregs. Here, I'll show you everything about me. Ours was an ordinary family. A strict but reliable father. A kind and loving mother. Up until then, it was complete happiness. But one day, Mother suddenly changed. She was like a totally different person. From that day on, Faye lost his home. Father was away often. He had some important work. When Father was away from home, Faye was taken to a place with mysterious machines. Inside there were many strangely dressed people. Many types of probes were injected into Faye's body as the start of some kind of experiments. The tests caused Faye much pain. Mom, help me! What are you doing? No! No! Mother didn't come to his assistance. Young Faye had no way of resisting, but he was able to endure. Eventually, the experiments became unbearable. Many people gathered around Faye. These people had a high compatibility with the anima relics. This psychic contact with Faye was to force him to awaken. But no one could make contact with Faye. The power drawn out of Faye, regardless of his will, destroyed them all. This is unbelievable. Mother allowed this to take place? Psychic contact? What do you mean by awaken me? To awaken God, everything had to be in perfect order, with nothing lacking. Things divided in the past must become one complete whole again. Countless people died before Faye's eyes. Men, women, the old, the young, even demi-humans. Suffering, grief, fear, ecstasy, a variety of emotions and words lingered, and tumbled about Faye like broken dolls. It was a scene from hell. In front of Father, she acted normally. When Faye tried to tell Father about Mother's strange conduct in the experiments, Father's mind was taken up by his work, and he didn't really listen. He thought it was just some childhood fantasies. But he didn't have to endure the pain much longer. Faye's subconsciousness discovered a way to escape from the trauma. He formed a separate persona to deal with the things he didn't like or couldn't bear. He removed himself from out of harm's way. My role was to have all the things he hated forced upon me the moment they arose. From the time of my division from him, I was dominated by hatred. That hatred naturally turned into destructive impulses. I wanted to destroy everything. Mother, father, the entire world. Finally, Father noticed Mother's odd behavior. But it was already too late. I had completely separated from that coward, my original self. The puppets were broken, and Faye's heart was too... What would make Mother do such a thing? Mother repeated the experiments to study the power she knew existed within me. Yes, that woman, Mother, was Miang. That's a lie. No, it's true. Mother was Miang. That's right. Karen had become Miang. What is that you say? It's nothing special. Miang does not have only one host body. Miang's roots are sealed in the genes of all women. Any one of them could become Miang. It just happened to be Mother's turn. Only Ellie was special originally. No! Karen, Miang noticed that Faye's memory time access had increased 2- or 3-fold. She became convinced Faye was the contact. Contact? Yes, I was the contact. That's why he called out to me. And why the time had come. Stop it! Cut it out! Dad! Dad! Mom! Help Dad! Hey Mom, why aren't you helping Dad? Dad's gonna die! Graf came seeking the power that exists within me. To return his own body. You understand now, don't you? Graf is the Khan. We, his descendants who inherited his lingering thoughts and memories from him, know only too well. Divided 500 years ago, he would become a part of both of us. The Khan became Graf. He destroyed everything on the face of the earth. He then mastered how to possess the bodies of others by dwelling in their minds. He was probably enabled to do this after his contact with the existence. Bodies died, but the Khan's spirit continued living by possessing others. He had come that day to return his soul at last to the perfect reincarnation of his physical body, the body of Faye. Father fought him, but he couldn't protect Mother or I. He pitifully fought while coughing up his own lifeblood. Graf made a mockery of Father, and Mother would not even help him when he needed her most. As for their son, he couldn't take what was happening anymore. He gave in to his feelings and released his power, and as a result, Mother died. Mom! And he offloaded the results of his actions onto me. To avoid taking the responsibility for killing Mother, he used me as a shield. I also killed Mother. He pushed all the bad things onto me, but kept all the memories filled with happiness and Mother's love for himself. And he shut himself away in those memories inside his own little shell forever. This is the place. What you see before me is what he made. He just keeps hanging on to those memories. That's what this is. Stop it. Just stop it. These scenes... There's my alarm. We're gonna go a little bit further. Are these all there is to us? Enough already. There's nothing here. It's just a world filled with deception and pain. It can't be helped. This is our world. This is everything.